Mobile application.
Lecture.
It's Canvas SD.
So today you have to present to me, right? Have you done your work?
Oh.
Next week, okay, I will instruct the drawing. Okay, because somehow our use case already done, right? Stakeholders, remember elicitation technique, for example. That's what we covered last class. So practical class, I stopped at, okay, before that, 3, 5, 10, 13. Where's the others? Maybe also I can wait a few minutes. But your friends are not here yet. Are you sitting in your assignment groups?
Yes.
Yes, good. So what about the others on the way? We start first, okay? We start first, otherwise you won't have enough time to listen to all the things. Okay, so I have instructed you guys to do stakeholder analysis selection, right? So for the stakeholder analysis selection, I told you that every group at least one factor. One factor for, every member. Each member one factor at least. So if you have 5 members, 5 ready, right? You want to still do the last factor, then you are most welcome. Okay? So you don't have to fight with each other, you can just take over, one of you can take over the 2 factors. If you find your factors very simple, you can do 2 factors. So to cover all the 6 factors, because there are only 6 factors, okay? Each factor, right, you see, let's say role in the organization. Okay, one time draw nowadays device doesn't work properly after that. Nowadays technology is going so fast, right? Going so fast. But one time you draw, you start getting a lot of troubles. So better be that. Okay. What I want to say, yeah. For the stakeholder analysis, let's say role in making decision. Okay, this is your factor, right? Okay, you have identified, you have explained, and then you analyze all the stakeholders under this category. Stakeholders under this category. Okay, so let's say you have your manager here. You have your manager over here. So next student can do another factor, for example, what do you call that? What else? I don't want the acceptance system. Okay, we need system acceptance. Okay, this one here. Okay, system acceptance. Okay. So this one also you explain another student. Okay, do system acceptance. Has stakeholders, has manager. Okay, no problem. You just identify as many as possible for your factor. This list. You can have overlapping. Okay. This is how you analyze. At the end, you come up with list of stakeholders. Okay? So identify the stakeholders for the requirement elicitation, justify your choices. Okay? Justify your choices. Okay, after you explain the factor, you try to analyze, all right. You also try to analyze, let's say 2 members of the group. So at the end, you have to do what you know. Prepare a table. Okay? Stakeholder list. Okay? Stakeholder list. Stakeholders justification. Why you consider this as your important stakeholder? So you now, when you transfer, right, one by one student have completed, identified all the stakeholders. So you're going to transfer the stakeholder into the list. Now, just write the manager one time. You understand? Here, when you analyze for your factor, you better analyze all the stakeholders. The more you analyze, the better your marks. Okay? This one, wait, I check later, individual or group. I need to see the rubrics, okay? So last time I made it, depends. Until I reach, I want, for example, 30% means to reach 30%, sometimes I will change the class to individual. So So this time I'm not sure I have to check the quiz. Okay? But I remember all the diagrams will be individual. Okay? So for this, right, you can have all the stakeholders for your factor. Explain and try to analyze based on your explanation for your project. Then, when you transfer, this is as group. This is group. Why group? Because your whole project stakeholder list. So when you put manager only one time, no repeating manager again. I know your friend also identified manager, the other friend also identified manager, but now when you transfer, manager is only one time. Then justification. Why manager is very important stakeholder? You consider manager as one of your stakeholders. Sometimes they don't simply select someone as stakeholder. Even though directly use the system or indirectly use the system, they have to have some kind of relationship with the system or requirements. Otherwise, they are not really needed. Correct? So you have to explain, justify. Clear? This is what you have to do for the first one. Okay, number 2, elicitation techniques. Okay? So this one, for the elicitation technique, I don't want you to give me the definition. You give me the definition, you will be losing the marks actually. Okay, don't give me the definition, don't explain. Okay, observation means the observant will be visiting the place of the system deployment, blah blah blah. Don't explain like that. And then I don't want you to write, okay, there are 2 types of observation, passive observation and active observation. You are not preparing lecture notes. You are actually preparing SRS. For SRS, your project, you only explain what is relevant to the project. Don't go and put all the theory. No marks. Okay? Worst, you will take penalty. So don't do that. Okay? No general description. Must be case specific. It must be project specific. Project specific. This is very, very important for you to score A. Project specific. Your case specific. Okay, now, how do you explain elicitation technique? First, number 1, what technique? What technique? I give you some tips how to write your technique analysis. Okay, what technique? Okay, number 2, how you going to conduct the technique? How you conduct? Okay, or how the technique will be conducted. So I don't use you, me. Okay, better do. Before student I always. So how the technique will be conducted. Some hint for you to do. Okay. Third, why choose this technique? Justification. Okay, why choose this technique for the project? Okay. While you have so many techniques, I ask for the best 4 techniques that you will go for. For so many techniques, I requested you to go for only 4 techniques. Let's say your project budget is very limited, so you really cannot go for stakeholder-driven techniques a lot. So you have to go for artifact-driven, which will will be causing less cost. So you can also justify based on any factor, but this must be based. The justification must be based on your project, okay, your project, not general. You cannot say, for example, you put questionnaire, then explain. Okay, questionnaire, we're going to use Google e-form, okay, Google form, okay, and the email, how you collect the email address of your participant, who's your target? Yeah, I forgot to explain how, and then third target. Who will be the participant? Okay, participant in your technique. So, for example, if you say questionnaire, right? Okay, technique is questionnaire. You have to explain how you conduct the questionnaire. So, target is what? Who going to be your participants? Let's say customer. Then, when you explain how the technique will be conducted, explain how the questionnaire will be will be given to the customers. Are you going to go and stand outside of the shop or outlet and distribute physical form? Or are you going to collect the email address through a survey first, then try to distribute the Google form to all the customers, or as many customers, and how many is your target? 2,000? 1,500 customers? Everything. Explain like exactly you are planning for what question. Okay, then why choose this technique? You say cheap, can, good factor, good point, good good justification. But why you are looking for cheap technique? You say cheap is fine, but then why cheap? You don't have enough budget, so you try to relate even the cheap to the project. Okay, why you go for cheap technique? Not simply say cheap. If you have enough budget from your client, why you want to go for cheap technique? You go for which technique is better, more efficient, correct or not? So you have to have a reason, even though cheap, you have to have a reason why your project go for cheap technique. Do you have enough budget? Try to relate. You understand or not? You have to plan. This is under planning actually. Okay, so you have to do a proper requirement analysis. So this is what I want. I don't want, okay, what is the definition? Go and Google what is the definition of observation or interview. How many types of observation or interview? What are the types of questions? Structured, unstructured. Oh, I don't know all that. Okay, try to explain that how you prepare the questions, what form you and how you pass the questions to the participant. How many days will be spent, time, how many days will be taken for you to conduct this particular technique. Who going to be in charge? How many people in your project team will be in charge of that? Assume that you 5 or 4 people are your project team, are in the project team. So you can even put later your your planning, right? Say you will be using among these people. They have their own role. So you can even mention. You don't have to very specific in mentioning the name, but you can say like 2 of our project team. Okay, members will be in charge of this conducting this interview or this blah 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 blah. So you can explain that way. You understand? The more specific and I find when after reading I get all the information, that's when you get 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. You understand or not? Or 10 out of 10. It's very outstanding. Okay? Okay, so that is for techniques. 4 techniques. To be a good project requirement engineering, elicitation. Obviously I want both stakeholder driven and artifact driven. I don't want to see all 4 artifact driven or all stakeholder driven. Not really good. Some you can have more or less, I don't mind, but at least must have 1, 2 from different categories. Okay, clear? So this is for elicitation techniques. Is that clear? Sorry, unable to explain this during because I got nothing to show you. I was using my phone to attend the class. Past few days, even now, until this week I will be very busy. Then next week will be okay. Okay? So, but not that bad, not need to cancel class anymore at home. Okay. Done, this 2. Do you want me to explain the questionnaire or enough for this week? Because from your face I can see you haven't done this week. Any group done? Who done? Not bad. Elicitation have been done, it's okay. But then stakeholder analysis done, not bad. In the way that I request, this one yes, maybe the least more, right? Yes, or more or less. Okay, what about the next group? I want to decide whether I need to go for presentation to be or not. Group presentation, don't worry. I will go to your place and maybe you guys can take turn or together can present. I don't mind, but don't always the same person talk. Okay? That will affect your presentation marks later. Okay? So, sir, the more you talk, the more I remember your name, and of course, you will be getting better marks compared to your friends. But it's not fair for the others. So, try to give chance. When they really cannot talk, you can come and help support them. That is fine. But always let others to also present. Okay? Take it. So, all get good marks. Okay, clear? And the final marks will be only decided when you present your final, assignment. Okay? Final presentation of the assignment. Okay. Do you want me to explain one shot? Because this is also related to elicitation. So we complete part 1. I just give you time until next week for you to do this. Okay? Can or not? Just by right, today I should present or explain to you this one. This 2 last week already. But let me check my schedule. Am I going fast or following? Okay, this is week what? I don't even remember that. 3, right? Week 3. Your interview is here. See? Then you should present to me your stakeholder opinion. By right. Okay, so today by right stakeholder, the elicitation both together next week. Okay, for those who haven't done this what stakeholder, then you will have trouble. You have more things to do. This one, then the list, and then you have to go one by one technique. Please allocate the task equally. Group tasks, don't let one person to do everything. Give everyone, okay, what responsibilities, okay, to do, to contribute. Clear? you can do it today. You can say, okay, elicitation technique got 4, right? 1 each. So now let's discuss and propose. What are the 4 techniques? Everyone can come up with 1 technique. Then go back and everyone handle that 1 technique. Then leader will compile everything together. Should do that. Okay? Of course, as a leader or as a group, you have to go through everything, see everything is appropriate or not. I know some of you are quite fast learners, some quite slow. So you have to go through again, analyze, review your friend's work, so everything is appropriate. That's how you do. It's not your friend is quite slow, so I want to do everything. No, shouldn't do that. Okay? Okay, now next, let me explain to you this one as well. Okay? Questionnaire and interview. Okay, now tell me. Since I asked you to do the questionnaire, prepare the questionnaire and also prepare the interview questions, don't you think you can use this 2 technique as a part of your elicitation? Who thinks that's better idea? Since the next class I'm going to ask you to prepare the questions for questionnaire and interview, don't you think elicitation techniques you include this 2 automatically? So the rest, the remaining 2 techniques, you may choose your own. Why am I talking about 4 techniques? Did I mention 4 techniques here? Or minimum 3. Okay, fine. So can you make these 2 techniques be a part of this 3? Then you can add 1 or 2 more, no problem. Don't you think that is appropriate? You know what? Otherwise you do double job. Some people like to work more, then no problem. You do here your own 3 techniques and then testing or no observation, no interview, no questionnaire. You have to again analyze questionnaire and interview just to prepare the questions. You cannot simply straight away write the questions. You need to know again, you have to go through all this again. You need to know interview. Okay, how you going to conduct if you don't know how to conduct, then you don't know how many questions to ask, what question to ask. You need to know who's your target, your participant. So you have to do this again. Got it or not? That's why I say make interview and questionnaire as a part of this. You understand or not? I cannot force you to do that. Okay, it's your project. So you can choose these 2 techniques to be here and then you can add 1 or 2 more. Is that clear? Okay, for questionnaire and interview also same. Okay, you have to identify, actually by right, this is number 2, so sorry. This is target is number 2, this is number 3, I forgot this one, okay? So you have to identify who will be your participant. Like interview usually focus on very small group of people. 1, if can, 1 or 2, better. Not many people. We don't interview so many people. Waste of time and it will cause more conflict and confusion. So always you select the best person to interview. The most important role, who knowledgeable in everything about the system. Like for example, I am a staff clerk or receptionist and there is another staff who is manager. Who knows better about every department involved in the system development or in the system, sorry. Manager. I only know receptionist means I only know the check-in, check-out. Not much about the others. Okay? If you go and ask admin staff, only know more about the system, current system. Okay? If you go and ask the cleaner, only know about the cleaning job. Correct or not? Manager is the one who manages everything. Of course, went through a lot of things before become a manager. So interview should be manager. Don't go for lower level staff. If you have a very big company, let's say 50 branches, thousands of employees. So you cannot just focus on staff from one outlet. Can you just focus on staff from one outlet to collect the requirement? Then your system later only satisfies that outlet. The other outlet maybe they have different culture out. So you can conduct questionnaire to cover all the staff from different the region or different places. Since it's a very huge company with lot of staff. Not necessarily only, not always customers. You can also conduct among staff survey, questionnaire. But you must have a very big organization where got a lot of branches. Like KFC, McD, all everywhere. Like, you can see almost every few kilometers one McD or KFC. So you can cover more outlets. So you can conduct survey or questionnaire with staff, possible. So that's why I say, when you have the organization, your justification I can check easily. You should have an organization. That organization background, I seriously want you to explain how many branches are there, how big is the company, the size of the company, how established is the business. I want all this so that very easy for me to check, validate your work, verify your work. If you just say a clinic management system, thousands of clinic. I don't know which clinic, which kind of clinic. Of course, I can check your requirement, but I cannot check whether it's valid for the requirements are acceptable or not, because I don't have the scope. You understand or not? So that's the problem now. Must have an organization in mind. You can put under reference. You are referring to this organization for copyright issue. Okay? Clear? Yes. Like IKEA, for example, in Malaysia, IKEA only 2 branches. Two branches, right? For more than now. Also not sure. Okay, very outdated since COVID. So 2 branches means then how big is the organization? How many staffs are there? What are the, you can have better understanding and you can come up with very good explanation for this. Okay? So that's about interview. Okay? So after you're done with the interview, right, you choose a person, at least 15 questions. So you have to prepare 15 questions. Okay, now when you prepare the questions for interview, you have to have some arrangement. Don't straight away go and make your interviewee straight away ask, can you discuss the problem of this current system? Wow. You don't even give her chance to talk about herself, introduce, experience, warm up, Should have some ice-breaking question, obviously. That's a good interview, otherwise they feel very nervous to talk to you. Don't straight away point the questions to her. About the problem, the features, the blah 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 blah. Wow. Okay? Can ask some questions about, the interviewee's background, how many years been working here, before this position, any other position have you hold, blah blah blah. Don't waste a lot of time also, like 3 or 4 questions, done. Then go to the next section. Ask about the current system. It is a physical system, manual system, you have a computerized system, but lot of problems. So it can be any type. So you ask about the current system. I'm just giving you suggestions. This is not all you can do. Of course, I want to see your creativity. Okay? So current system, you can ask about current system. Okay, you can ask about the problems in the current system. Of course, some ice-breaking question. I want you ask some introduction, kind of introduction question. Okay? Then problems. Then you can also ask for proposals. Okay, for example, features. What kind of features you are expecting? Expectation. Proposals here like expectation. Then quality. Okay. Others if they are management people, you can ask about development requirements such as the budget. Okay, how much you willing to spend on this project? You can even ask that if they are in a management position. But don't go and ask a clerk for this. Not suitable. Okay? So these are the things you can actually lebih kurang you can cover. But of course you can have more and more. Obviously. Okay, you can have both what do you call that? Close-ended and open-ended questions. Close, open-ended question. You know what is close and open-ended? So some questions you can have, okay, of course structured question, unstructured you cannot really show here. Okay, but then close and open-ended, you know what? Close-ended means you have options. Okay, options. They can only choose from the option. But if your questions are more open-ended and close-ended, you are not giving chance to the interviewee to open up, to share their own experience or opinion. Some factors will be hidden from your development team. So it's better to have last few questions open-ended. Okay, all this will determine your marks. How well you design the questions. Okay, now go to the questionnaire. Same, what technique? Questionnaire. How technique will be conducted? Explain. Like I said just now, e-form, or you're going to print out physical form, how you're going to distribute, how you're going to collect the email address. That's the most important. Do you have the access to the staff? For example, if your target is staff, do you have access to the staff email address? Yes. Developer usually will be given all the information that you need. So you can actually reach that easily. So they are required to spend how long? 15 minutes, 1 hour. Later I'll see whether exactly what you explain is correct or not. There are 50 questions and you say 15 minutes can cover? Oh, not logic. Okay? Then go for the questions. Okay? Design the question. You can really go for Google form. Okay? Or any software, I don't mind. Any software. Okay? And then you can attach the link at the bottom, screenshot the Google form. You understand or not? For appendix, later you have to submit all this in appendix. Okay, now the Google form, right? Okay, you design the questionnaire, right? Questionnaire, okay. For this, right, you have to have section by section. Okay, then again, you must they don't want to reveal their name, just leave it optional. Okay, all that I'll check whether got optional. You don't make them must answer this to proceed. Or not good, not a good person. Okay. Then you can ask about same category. Okay, problems of the current system, expectation of the new system. Okay, blah blah blah. So you can have like a few categories. One is like functional. The other one ask about quality. Ask about the other factors. All those things. Now I have a few classification, and of course minimum question is 15. If I don't put 15 as minimum, right, you know what will happen? Some student will take this for granted. They will come up with only few questions. Okay? So how can I avoid that? So I put minimum 15. Of course you can go for more. But not too many also, because you have to manage your time. So be aware of the time also. You have enough time to do all this. It is a given week. So you have to manage your time well. Don't overdo also. Okay? Clear? Okay? So you can allocate your class now. Since anyone else done beside this group? Can I check your stakeholders maybe for today?
Please, I want to ask the question and need to prepare the answer.
Sorry?
Answer.
Answer only. You don't have to conduct. This is only like planning. You are not conducting, don't worry. No need to conduct. I don't need results. I don't need outcome. No outcome needed. No results needed. Don't worry. You just need to study. Okay? Prepare, like preparation. You don't have to conduct. You do until elicitation. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 4 is conduct, right? No need to do conduct. No need to conduct. Okay? Okay, now one more thing. Okay, this one done. So this one I don't touch class. Next class. So we don't go first. I need to listen to your what do you call that? I need to see your work first before I can ask you to go on with this one. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the report guideline. Usually I do parallel so that you don't feel burdening. If I ask you to buy rider, if you see my here, my plan here actually, okay, initial plan is like that. The software requirement specification can be only done after you complete all the practical tasks. So you see how long you spent SRS for 2 weeks actually. But it's very challenging if you want to do the SRS in 2 weeks. Seriously very challenging. Okay, because you come up with the entire SRS in 2 weeks is very, very challenging. So what I do, when I ask you to do the practical task, I will slowly ask you to also go on with the SRS introduction, slowly one by one. So by the time you complete your practical task, right, you will also complete the SRS. So you can have a lot of time to check your work, prepare the document and all that. Okay. So now just look at SRS. Okay, the template is here. Later, straight put in the template. Don't waste time. This is just guideline. Okay. So template is here. The template is given to you. So you can straight away now edit. You can put the title here. What system specification. Okay. So this is the title. Sorry. This is where you put the project title. What system or application. Then you can put in your names, student names, and then start preparing this. The first part maybe. So I will just go through quickly the first part. Don't worry, this one I give you more time. I check after 2 weeks. Usually I don't really check or give you marks for this report. No, this is the final assessment. I will only assess this when you submit your SRS. I will check, I will give you marks only for the practical task. Which one? This one. Part 1 and part 2. Okay, this one is important. This one only important when you submit. So now maybe I can guide you how to do it. By rider, usually we will ask students to do themselves. But when I ask students to do themselves, a lot of very poor quality. For one time, no one ate it. No one. So I realized because they don't know how to prepare the document. So since then, I changed my way of conducting the practical. I go through both at the same time. Okay? So now, let me just go through. Okay, you can take down. Document purpose, SRS purpose. So you can basically describe SRS purpose for your project. Explain why you need to prepare this SRS. Okay, basically why you need SRS. What is the main purpose of SRS? That's the document that you pass to your design team. Correct or not? Later to proceed with the design. Okay? Because requirement document is next stage is design. Do you sign contract with the SRS? Yes. To confirm the project, okay, to confirm the project with the client, you need to have your SRS very clearly prepared so that your team, your client team will go through the SRS and see which one is the best quotation. Come with better quality system with good price. So they will confirm the project. Of course, they don't just give one tender. They will ask for many tenders. So they will see which one is the best. So to sign the contract, you need your SRS. So you can search, Google, study what are the main purpose and try to write it for your project, how it works. Why you are writing this SRS. Okay? Number 2, scope. Here's scope. I want you to explain what are the modules you have identified. A very brief description of each module. That's all. Product scope is what are the modules will be covered to show me what are the modules not covered. So just describe, list down all the modules that you will cover with very short description. Maybe 1 or 2 lines of paper. Yeah. Okay. So far, okay, right? You want me to write on what only, right? So it's quite easy. The first part, okay, introduction only. Nothing here. Okay. Again, document purpose. What is the purpose of SRS for your project? Some of you don't use SRS to sign the contract. You know what? You already got the contract. Someone recommended your company. So the client already signed the contract even before you start with the SRS. Happened before. So you have different purpose. So don't always think that the purpose is the same for everyone. No. Different project, different purpose. So why are you preparing SRS? So you have to write for your project. And then product scope, again, try to come up with all the modules, okay? One by one module. So this is your document, right? So module 1. No need to put the word module, straight away write like account management, blah, 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 blah. Then you write the description. Okay, second, so this is scope. Then second module, let's say booking module, booking management, display. No need to be too long, 2 lines enough, 2 sentences enough. I'm just giving an example, 2 sentences, enough. No need to be too long. If you want to give 1 or 2 lines more, then no problem. Can go, okay. Okay, 3, 4, 5. So you have like at least 5 because 4 members or 5 members, right? So you have to have the modules here. This is the scope. Okay? With very brief explanation. Because at this stage you are not sure of the functions. So don't go and write a lot of things. Okay? Just briefly explain. Intended audience and document overview. Who is going to read your document? If to sign the contract, then obviously your client, IT manager or client, the management team will be reading your document. Other than project team. So you can also find the names, the real position who will be reading this document in my lecture notes. Lecture 1. 1 or 2? In 1. Yes, correct. Lecture 1. I have the name of the people who will be reading the document. So you can go through, try to modify according to your project. Then, definition, acronym, abbreviation. Can anyone tell me what is acronym? Google search again, acronym and abbreviation. You have used before, but I don't know whether you are aware of it or not. Okay? Opposite each other, acronym and abbreviation. Okay, so acronym, okay, and abbreviation form, okay, from the initial letters of the words. I always see students write like this. Do you understand this class? What is this? Yes. You go and give this to someone who is non-IT, from non-IT position or role or department. Do you think they can understand this? No. Say, let's say I give you something, okay, how many of you know MRI? Yeah, I'm very sure you heard about it. Can anyone give me the abbreviation of this? Sorry, the definition of this? You know? I don't Google search. Tell me this straight away. I am very sure some of you even have gone through MRI. Anyone? MRI scanning before? I just went through last year. Okay? So, but then I also don't know what's the name. I know the meaning, but I don't know the exact words. Scientific words. Okay? So, that's the reason we want this part. Which part? This part, sorry. So, you will come up with a table for this. Class, you will come up with a table for this part. Okay? This part, you have to come up with a table. Okay? Whatever, of course now you don't know all the words that you're going to go across or come across. Okay? It's okay. Now just start with a few words that you have used. When you write your further chapter, further part, you will come across more and more abbreviation, more and more acronym to put in there. Okay, one by one and try to come up with the definition. Have you seen what do you call that? Have you seen? Okay. Okay. So this is an example ASCII. See ASCII got its own meaning, you know. Okay. What I want to say? Have you seen this glossary? Yeah, same purpose, you know. Glossary for every book, reference book or whatever. But this one glossary will have page number. But here you don't have to provide the page number. Here I just want the definition. Yeah. So you can do in a table form. Okay, you can do in a table form. Okay. You can put your abbreviation form. Okay, then this is the definition. Definition. So you can put the word, then you can keep adding one by one. Okay, it depends on your domain. How many of you are doing something different domain? I don't really remember. One of you are doing, what's this one title? Yeah, bus tracking. Bus tracking, transportation, anyone knows any abbreviation, any acronym? Bus tracking, any terms in short? Oh right, not really. So not much. Second group, any, what's the title? Second group? This is the second group. First group? Title. Title please.
Fitness system.
What system?
Fitness.
Fitness. Maybe you will have a lot of this kind of acronym because the machines now, you know, the instruments or whatever, maybe you have, I'm not sure also. Just double check. So whatever you come across, you can use all the acronym abbreviation in your report, no worries. But make sure you have the meaning on your introduction. Sorry? Okay, it cannot be zero because software engineering itself will have a few words. You can even put in like NFR, all those things. Okay? Cannot be zero. I don't think you will have zero. I'm very sure you will come across a few.
Is the saving how to anything?
No limit now, of course no limit. I cannot force you to put something, so I cannot force. But it cannot be zero, I'm very sure. Cannot be one.
Let's say it doesn't really exist in the real life. Is it possible we can say how to put the create our own
Oh no, I don't want you to create, but what you can do, because you know food business also not many, but this fitness I maybe because you see BMI is it? BMI. Can you understand BMI? So I say fitness got a lot actually. Can also, can. It's organization can. That's why one is acronym, one is abbreviation, so can. Okay, one is what do you call that for noun. The other one is used for defining. So both also can. Okay, what about the title? Clinic. Yours also not bad. Got a lot of sickness types and all that, right? Should be no problem. Can find some. Okay, what about the last thing? Which one? Title. Traveling.
Beauty salon spa.
Beauty salon. Any acronym?
Right?
Any acronym? Any beautifying? Treatment names? Like treatment name. For example, nowadays you go beauty salon. Wow, last time all my parents bring me. I used to have short hair until secondary school. So every time when I go, just one cut only, nothing else. Now a lot of so many treatments, not bad. My girl, they asking 50 ringgit or 60 ringgit, I guess. Just jalan send to that. Wow, so expensive now. Because they have a lot of names, very attractive packages, creative. For kids also, so expensive. Next time I will cut myself. Okay? I got no time. If not, I can give a try. I love to learn new things. Okay, so then what I want to learn? Yeah, your group also shouldn't be a problem to have some. Okay, because it depends on your domain actually. Depends on your domain. Medical a lot. So since fitness also a part of medical, should be no problem. This one beauty salon also I guess will have some. Only your title bus tracking I cannot think of any. You have any in your mind? Bus tracking. Bus tracking. No right? Unless really nouns. specific nouns like kata nama khas, star UMT, those things.
GPS.
GPS, exactly. GPS, good example. GPS. So should, that's why I say cannot be zero. Cannot be zero. Don't worry, now when you do introduction, you expect all to be completed. Cannot. You just prepare the table. You come across one by one in next part, you just add on. You understand or not? So now prepare the table. That's all. Don't worry so much. Okay? Okay, continue. Document convention. Okay, who can tell me what is document conventions? So describe some terminologies which readers may be unfamiliar. Okay, when you are using some just now, short form, initial of each word. Now not initial of each word. Now the word itself you find like your reader won't be able to understand because of very domain specific or maybe very technical IT. You understand or not? We all love to use all these IT terms. We don't expect I have a doctor in family. I always experience this. Whenever we have someone in family not feeling well, right? My youngest sister. Oh, she explained everything in medical terms. Sometimes quite annoying. Of course, she studied for medicine. She can understand. How she is expecting everyone to understand that? So when someone asks for opinion, like my elder sister asked, she will explain everything in medical terms. We feel like better. Outside doctor is better. Right? No use. Sometimes I talk back. They say, hey, what's the point of explain in a way that we can understand? The other day, my mother got a problem. She was explaining everything in medical terms. None of us managed to understand. One is engineer, one is software. The other one is accountancy. No one can understand. That is quite irritating. So your document, make sure you have the definition here. Okay? So whatever terms you find that it's quite difficult for everyone to understand, every reader to understand, then put here. Clear? You can also put like this, naming convention. If you mention about any method name, any specific variable name, we have naming convention for programming. We have taken programming, right? Second year should be okay. So BEN, okay, then say. So we have our naming convention. LBL, what do you call that, message. This is actually what? Label. This is what? Button. Agree with me? Programming convention. Have you done this, tried this before in programming? No. Have you learned any GUI based programming? With the interface design. You design the interface and Java?
We learn HCI, but we did not learn any programming language.
What about Java? Java, you don't design the GUI?
Yeah, design.
We only did Java.
The console, black and white.
Yes, we did the OOP and JavaScript.
Your Java is, you don't learn interface, GUI. The swing class and all that.
They use console, we use UI. So different group.
Different group. Yeah, you all use GUI. You know right what I'm talking about.
Maybe I forgot already.
Okay, never mind. Just an example. Okay, example. No worries. For console, Java with console, I've never done that before. Because somehow you need to have an interface to make it work. But console is like very outdated, structured language.
Yeah.
Just a very basic. So because Java is graphical, so we don't teach. There's a class called swing class with all the components, interface component for you to create interface so easily in Java. So usually after cover until array or something, you start with a GUI. So I don't know. Maybe syllabus is slightly different. Foundation, right? Foundation, right? Not diploma.
No, degree.
That's the difference. You see, diploma you learn all. Foundation you don't. It's okay, no worries. I guess you'll be taking one course very soon. Okay? Okay, so the document convention done. And how come I have a question, last one. Why I have references and acknowledgement at 1.6? Sorry? Okay, fine. But then why you want to put here? You have another 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 and 5.0. Why not put references before appendix? But no reference here. Only reference over here. So now tell me. Okay. Why references are over there? Why not after the last part? And I see there's no reference after 5.0. What's your opinion? Exactly. So So remember that, then remember, your reference only apply until here. So you can only refer any source for this content. After this, I don't want you to copy from Google. Or you go and get from book. No, all this your own idea, your own contribution. After this, everything is your own idea, your own contribution, your own project plan. So nothing to do with any resources. So references only for that part. After this, no reference needed and don't get any content from internet. You get what I mean? It's all your own output. Output from here, not from any resources. Okay? Clear? So that's the SRS. That's SRS. Now your own project idea. That's why you always your system when you develop your product, you can get your copyright because it's yours. You understand or not? Your requirement document is a very important document for your product. So you can get your copyright. You can now apply for copyright. Okay? So no one else will steal or copy your idea. Is that clear? So please after this no more you can refer, of course you can refer. But when you write it, try to think from your project point of view and then do it. Okay? That's all. This one don't worry. I'm not going to force you to show me. This one I just explain to assist you. You know what? Whenever you have time, at least you can complete 1.1 to 1.6. You won't feel burdening. Do everything one shot in 2 weeks. No. So whenever you have time, slowly do this. But you have to show your progress for this. This one need to present to me next week. Confirm. Next week, present to me. Maybe I will ask you to present this two first. This one maybe I don't check first. Interview question I check when you submit your report. I will only check this two next week. Clear? So today no presentation since only one group quite confident. The others are not ready. Maybe haven't done due to some time constraint. So you show me next week. Is that clear? Who came in just now? Please sign in. Don't forget to sign in your attendance. If I have forgotten to keep the code or sign your attendance, let me know. Okay? Don't wait until week 10. Later, your name will be in the baris. So make sure you let me know earlier. Even I myself cannot do anything. Nowadays, everything controlled by system. I can't even help. So please, let me know earlier. Any question? No question? So allocate the task before we start doing. If you do this course, weekly, you do your work, you can come up with a very good assignment. Don't wait until last minute. Okay? You see, I don't want to scare you, but I just want to show you. See, Second one, you have a lot of diagrams here itself. You see your class diagram is coming here. My next topic will be class diagram. So I wait for lecture first. Class diagram, here. Structure chart. Okay, and modules. This is one diagram, structure chart, and then you have your class diagram over here. Can you see that? But thank God class diagram is group work. Only one diagram. So group work. Two together. Then slowly you have all the other diagram here. Can you see this? You have your use case diagram, your state chart diagram. So it will be really time consuming. So you better do weekly. Okay? Don't wait until last minute. Cannot complete. Okay? Okay, I think that's all.